Hello everyone, and welcome back to our reviews of Digimon Ghost Game. We are now on to episode 4, The Doll's Manor. Which, the episode title doesn't make a lot of sense in the grand scheme of things for this one.
With that title I was thinking Creepy Doll episode, which would absolutely work in this series, but it's really not what this is.
Yes. So do be aware, we talk very in-depth about everything that happens in this episode, how it connects to the previous, what we think might happen in the future. So if you are worried about spoilers, you have been warned now.
This is not the review for you.
This is not the review for you, yes. And so, remember, if you like these, comment about what we miss, and let's dive into episode 4. So, we're definitely got the pattern of every single episode is we are starting with the horror.
Yeah, we got a formula going with that, yeah.
Is that it doesn't really waste a lot of time to get to that. And this episode's no different.
Nope.
Where we encounter some guy.
Some random human, yeah.
We don't really know these people who's helping decorating for what appears to be Halloween.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's like their community center.
Mm-hmm.
It does say its name, but I've forgotten it. Gee, Peggy, you've messed up my notes. Thank you.
Black Automon is helping.
Yes, absolutely.
And he is apparently attacked by a pumpkin puppet
Decoration thing, yeah.
Decoration. So
There you go.
it's a physical object. It's not a ghost. At least seemingly at first. That's
Yep.
It's
not a dematerialized Digimon, which usually shouldn't be why they're causing problems.
yeah. So it can touch him no problem. Knock him out and drag him somewhere. Not exactly sure.
Yep, and then we see some robot ball hologram thing.
Just wander by. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see it a few times.
It's there. It exists.
I think it's a mascot for the community center.
Yes. That's my best guess.
But anyway, after our introductory horror, we start with Ruli.
Yep, who's just there. She apparently really wanted to decorate this place. She really wanted to help.
Not quite sure why or what her background is with this. Just she wants to, and I guess really that's good enough.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to know a little bit more, just to build her character a little bit, but.
Mm-hmm. But they're quickly going through and talking about decorating, and they're talking about how they don't seem to have enough people, that they need more help. And right from there we cut to Hiro, who's gotten a message from her, and apparently, as he was before, saying that, he doesn't really say no, he agrees to help, he's on his way.
And we see him walking through the city of Gamamon again.
Mm-hmm.
And Gamamon says there's a bunch of weirdos out in their Halloween costumes. Which seems strange to me that a Digimon would think costumes are that weird.
I mean, there's not many Digimon that pick up other clothes to put on. There's not a lot of clothes in the digital world, but still, they change shapes. They look different all the time. So, yeah, it's
just kind of an odd line for me. I wouldn't think that he would find that. I mean, given his mental age and all that, it just seems an odd thing that comes from him that he would think they're all that's weirdos for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Hiro explains to him the idea of trick-or-treating and getting candy and chocolate, and he's all kinds of excited about this.
Oh yeah.
Understandably.
So you can get more champion.
So he calls it chocolate there.
Yes. Yes, he does.
And he messes up the trick-or-treat with turkey or...
Yeah.
And something else, it starts with a T.
Here, I'll put a screenshot here and you'll see what it says.
Yeah. Not really that important, but it was kind of cute.
Future Rordrik can save us. It's fine. Make more work for him. He likes it. And he's still worried about people seeing Gamamon.
Yep, in fact, the kid commenting on him really worries him, so he runs behind the building and...
starts playing with his Digivice.
Yep, he was told that Tsukiono-chan, I think it was, or San. I'm sorry, I'm not real good at my Japanese honorifics.
Yeah.
I should be better at this point, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Watched enough anime, yeah.
Yeah, I should be better. I know it's not Chan. That would be inappropriate here for what he's doing.
Right. So he's messing with the buttons, thinking, she said he can go invisible again. And so he pushes a bunch of buttons, and we see that wave of grass again.
Like in his showed up in episode 1 in his room.
In his dorm room.
I mean, this time it was a large, like, city block, so hopefully he didn't, like, just nuke everybody.
Yeah, because everybody's gone.
Yeah.
There are no humans at all. It's just Hiro and Gamamon.
Hiro, Gamamon, grass on all the buildings, but everything else looks exactly the same.
Yeah, so a parallel world, a different...
Yeah, I mean, almost like fake Tokyo from 2020 thing, except with grass.
Yeah. Which, I mean, okay, so... I mean, is this the digital world? It's usually a parallel of the world, but usually not in this...
I mean, not to this direct one-to-one comparison.
Not to this direct, yeah. So
and there's a line later about it, so we'll go back and talk about this a little more later.
But yeah, so it's very unusual. Gamamon sees a sign for chocolate and just... He's always hungry, so he jumps at it and smashes it.
Into it and calls it champion again, even though you referred to chocolate a little while, not too long ago.
Yeah, well, it's Gamamon. I'm not expecting, you know. But eventually, he starts playing with the Digivice again to try and, you know, undo what he did, and
thankfully he does.
It's quickly resolved that they're back. All the other humans are not dead.
Yep, he did not vaporize the entire city.
Yep, that's good. And the sign that Gamamon's sitting next to is fixed.
Yep, it's back.
It was like it was never broken.
So whatever this thing is, apparently doesn't have any correct correlation with the human world, despite looking exactly like it with some grass.
Yeah.
So very interesting. Well, hopefully they explain a little more what this is and why it looks this way.
Yes. We'll have to wait a little longer on that one. But yeah, so eventually Hiro does make it to the center.
Yep.
And people are really impressed with, now there's 2 holograms of
yes,
Angoramon and Gamamon here.
It's up there and open. No attempts to hide Angoramon.
Yep.
Even though apparently he can turn invisible.
Yes. Apparently they figured that out.
Because we will later find out that Tsukiono is actually just Riley's family name.
Yeah, it's just her last name.
I was like, oh, okay, that's who that is.
Yeah, I just always assumed it was. I didn't.
No, I thought it was a completely new character.
No. That's always...
Who's that? That's her family name. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, they're talking about that, and there's a nice little conversation. Again, consistent with Hiro not being able to say no. Ruli talks to him about it, you know. Wow, you're really helpful, you know. And
yep, and introduces him before it gets started to well, her 2 friends before and then 2 new ones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, again, in middle school, 5 cute girls asked me to help. I'd said yes.
yeah, probably. Especially one of them was kind of famous. Maybe. we're not quite sure.
Yeah, not quite sure how that works. Yeah.
How quite her following is. It's really that much outside of like the school or.
Yeah, no idea.
No idea yet.
Does not come up in this episode.
Yes.
Yeah, she asks him to do a bunch of different things, and he says yes to all of them, and she says, well, the rumors are true. You really just can't say no. And he goes, yeah, I guess it's just easier this way.
Yeah.
So maybe he just doesn't like confrontation?
I mean, that's pretty fitting with how he's approached many of the fights so far. You know, trying to talk Mun down more than, you know, Gamamon get him. And...
Yeah. He's not, it's fighting time, no.
No, this is no Marcus, no. Where, you know, he took the eyes from Dracomon and just, you know, said, don't do it again, you know, but didn't really...
Didn't follow through.
Mm-hmm.
But also around here, Gamamon's flying again, so if you remember, he can do it.
Yep, that is still consistent. And she finally does show him how to turn Gamamon invisible.
Yes. Not quite sure how she figured this out, but that will actually be explained a little later.
Yeah, and even though she explains it, he doesn't actually do it
in this episode. No.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he can. I'm assuming it's not just something she can do, and he can't. You know, maybe the devices are different. Maybe they have different capabilities. I wouldn't think so, but we don't know yet because he didn't. He didn't actually do it in this one. He just kind of came that way in the first place. So eventually they are just sitting off on their own, able to talk to
Yes.
Angoramon and Gamamon some more. And
Yeah. Hiro asks him if Angoramon can tell him about the digital world. Again, very consistent with what he's been trying to do to this point. And he actually has some useful information for us.
Yes. There's not a lot that Angoramon gives us that, as fans of the show...
Is the Digimon as a whole, yeah.
It is really that big of a...
Yeah.
Big of a shock or that different than most of what you expect. I mean, there's a few things like all Digimon were created originally from a virus.
Yes, that was probably the most unusual thing at this point, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the origin of the digital world's a little murky anyway, but that's interesting that they all probably started as virus. That sounds like a very chaotic world to begin.
Yes. But then, during this time, he's kind of bonding with Gamamon, who's running around and playing with him. He's poking him and petting him. And
yes. And
though he looks really big, or Gamamon's really small in this scene again.
Yeah, there's been a couple of those already where...
They don't seem to have a very good concept of just how big Angoramon is.
Mm-hmm.
He in particular seems to be all over the place in size.
Yes, but he seems to get along fine with Gamamon's all energetic and happy,
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, this is nice, whatever.
He seems a very laid-back Digimon, yeah.
Yeah. Unless you mess with his piano hearing.
Yes, apparently.
Hearing a piano. Then
or unless you're possessed by a Dracmon, then you're going down.
Oh, yeah. Take that, Hero. But yeah. They do talk about evolution, Digivolution, Which, when it first happened, where he's like, Digivolution doesn't just happen randomly back and forth. It takes place over a long period of time. And I was about to shout at my monitor, no, that's how it always works. And then I remember, well, no, that's pretty much how it always works for the tamers.
For the partner Digimon,
and their partners, but naturally not so
there's
much.
very rarely, if ever, any going back down unless you're turned back into an egg kind of thing.
Yeah, unless you get beat up that bad. Even that, not usually for them. Yeah. And he talks about how not all Digimon really quite know how they got here. Most of them, it was kind of an accident. They stumbled upon.
Come through gates, he calls them.
Mm-hmm. Which, based on what we've seen so far, seems pretty random that who's here and who's not. So again, it kind of matches up. But meanwhile, while they're having this conversation,
yes,
plot is happening.
More horror is occurring, yes.
More plot horror, yes. As there's another trick or treat, and another one of the people. I supposedly I might know her name by now, but I don't. Nana
and Mo are the two friends that ended up getting snatched. I think Nana's first. I think Mo sees Nana being dragged away, not because we were looking for her. These missing people. This randomly was at this right spot to see her being dragged behind the curtains.
Yep.
And proceeds to fall behind and then make noise so they can find her.
Yep.
I mean, she's a little shocked by what she sees, and I get that, but not smart.
Yeah, where she's seeing Pumpmon, or Pumpkinmon.
Pumpkinmon. We will call him Pumpkinmon.
As we generally know him, yeah. Putting pumpkin heads on people and stabbing the jack-o'-lantern and carving faces into it once it's on them.
Yes.
And I, whoa, okay.
So again, he seems to have no trouble interacting with humans. Even though he's not materialized.
Yeah, no, he's a ghost. He's a hologram ghost, as they call them. And yeah, no, he's...
So again, I'm not sure where this came from in the third episode.
Yeah.
That's the only episode that seems to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That you can't interact when you're in that form.
Yeah, where he's holding the knife, he's carving into a pumpkin, which kind of was his attack, so it might make sense that he could, but why is the pumpkin head sticking on the human then if it's his?
And like in the vines wrap around them, and yeah.
Yeah. All those kind of...
Dematerialized can't interact.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping, like, Dracmon and, the rookies are too weak, and that's why it's not working. When, Pumpmon's an ultimate.
Yeah, maybe they're just powerful enough that they can overcome that.
But we haven't.
It's not the case.
Yeah.
It's not the case. It's proven later.
Yes. I'd like to think that, but yeah.
That's what I was thinking at this point, going, okay, maybe we got this. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. So finally, after she also gets captured.
Yeah, after Mo, and now Mo on top of it disappeared, they finally realized that, hey, something's not right here.
People are missing, yes. And then Goramon immediately
He
says, "Hey, we shouldn't split up. People are being taken off one by one."
Yeah. And I was like, "Hey, Goramon, this isn't how horror movies work. Come on, man. You
But
don't
don't-
know how this works."
And Hiro was immediately like, "I'll be the decoy."
Yeah.
Ah, there we go.
See, Hero gets how horror works.
Yes, beautiful.
He hasn't been snatched by these things before yet. No, he certainly shouldn't know better.
Nope, he didn't get grabbed by a Mummymon or anything. Nope. Yeah, so after that, he is more or less on his own. I mean, they are trailing him.
Yeah. And then we do see one of these marionette pumpkin doll things fall over, and a Kendamon appears out of it. So
Yeah,
gee, rookies can interact with.
yeah, they're
real
possessing these doll things, did no problem.
So yeah, and obviously that was not the thing. That was not it.
No, it wasn't. I was hopeful.
Yeah, we were crossing our fingers that was the explanation. And again, we don't have to understand it yet, but just had the characters go, "Huh, that's weird." Like we're thinking, and then okay, the writers are acknowledging that they have broken their own rules. Not yet. And then the rolling ball hologram comes along and distracts Ruli's group, and then as horror plans go, the hero gets caught.
Yep, Hiro just keeps wandering. He doesn't stop and make sure anyone's with him or anything. He just keeps going. And yeah, he gets wrapped up and grabbed because Gamamon's not with him, so he doesn't have a whole lot.
And yeah, the screen here, that guy's pretty close to his head.
Oh yeah. No, he's helpless, and Pumpkinmon's stabbing right at his face too. And oh boy,
yeah, this is pretty intense. And then Ruli and the others are there. How? I'm going to say Gamamon just followed Hero's scent, kind of like in the Mummymon thing. But there's no line where he says that.
Yes.
This is an example of here of tight writing versus not tight writing. By just not having that one line, you now have a bit of a plot hole. That I just have to assume something happened as opposed to knowing.
Yes, exactly. But then, so they see this happening and they're like, oh my gosh, we gotta stop him, we gotta fight, how are we gonna do this? Because there's a lot of people in this room. There's more than just the 3 that we knew got grabbed.
Yeah.
There's almost like a dozen in here.
They've been at this a while, apparently.
Yeah. There's quite a few in there. And so, after they break Hiro out, just biting through his vines and distracting Pumpkinmon enough to get him out.
We see the rest of Pumpkinmon's posse. That's our 2 Candlemon and Hooty's Pencil Digimon.
Yeah.
Let's hear Ikakimon.
Ikakimon, yep, that sounds right.
Ikakimon.
Yeah, they've pretty much only been seen in season 6.5 there.
Yeah.
Boy Hunters, so. Interesting to see.
Them.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're in trouble here. They're facing an ultimate and 4 rookies, and they're 2 rookies and some humans.
Yeah. I mean, one of them can go champion. And maybe the other one will go champion this episode. I mean, it would be about right, you know. You got
it wouldn't be the worst thing, yeah.
So, but still, that's a lot of trouble. And so once Hiro gets freed and is out, he has the idea of, wait, we don't have to fight with these people here. We don't have to worry about it damaging anything. And he pushes the buttons again, and they go into the grass world.
Yeah, then he playing Digicords kind of thing.
Because pretty much immediately after it happens, and Goramon says this is like the digital world. Does that mean this is the digital world?
I wouldn't hype it as it's not the digital world, but
yeah, I wouldn't think it is.
It's some kind of hybrid of the two smashed together.
It's like the network. It's the cyberspace, the Edens, the kind of in between, the kind of in betweens that
sometimes pop up. Yeah.
Yeah. But as they're, analyzing Pumpkinmon here and getting ready to fight him,
now all materialized because they're not in the human world.
Yes. Which makes sense because we're in a more cyberspace. They can be fully materialized. That does make some sense.
And this also explains why I was so confused why Hiro didn't seem to realize there's like a holographic form of Gamamon at the beginning, because he first shows up in this hybrid world.
Yeah.
And then when
it goes away,
it looks like that he might then become the hologram and then is materialized by the watch.
Yes.
So that might explain a lot of things why I always pondered why he didn't try to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
This actually kind of explains that. So, good job there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It took me a while before I put all the pieces together, even after seeing this episode, but
yes.
now that I have, that makes a lot more sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, good there.
Yes, the rules tie together there nicely. They're consistent so far.
Yeah,
but
at least that rule's consistent at this point.
But yeah, like I said, when they're analyzing, getting ready to fight Pumpkinmon, it does say ultimate. Because I wasn't 100% sure, some seasons, stages aren't exactly the most, always the biggest thing. That pretty much shows me that, yes, okay.
We have our standard stages in this series, yeah.
At least to start. Who knows?
Yeah, true.
Who knows what's going to happen in the end, but...
So he tells this sad tale about how no one apparently could see him, but they can see him now when he's capturing them, I think.
Yes.
So no one necessarily says it's a pumpkin head thing, but...
Yes, and his face is everywhere this time.
You seem to at least see the knife, so I'm pretty confident that...
Yeah.
But yeah, they show him around before Halloween, just kind of lost in here, but no one seems to see him or talk to him or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't they now?
Yeah. Because they're close to the main characters.
There is possibility that maybe the Digimon do something like that.
Yes.
They're hazard everybody else will just be around them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I understand the reasoning they're trying to go for in this episode. I don't think it's done particularly well.
Yes.
They're going for the lonely. He just wants to have a friend.
But he has his posse of 4 there that seem to like him. It's not like he's cruel dictator to them.
Not that we see, at least.
Yeah. And they don't talk like they do, like they don't like him, or...
Yeah.
Let me capture you or Pumpkinmon will punish me or something, anything like that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there's nothing like that, but...
We chase him around for a bit.
Yep, they're running through... They're trashing the place.
They're trashing the places, yeah. Good thing they're not in the community center.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're in Grass World.
So it would amuse me to know, and that if it has no effect in the human world, but somewhere in the digital world, things are just blowing up all over the place.
Yeah.
The hero thinks he's doing the right thing by having nothing else go wrong, but in the digital world, absolute chaos is being caused by what he's doing.
And the digital world can't see it now, so now they're just like, what the? I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so, but I would love it if it did.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
I would write it that way, but...
Yeah. And finally, after quite a bit of chasing, you won't be my friend, I hate you.
They trick him with those mannequins or something under seat for exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get Betelgeuse again, and he does some really good damage to this ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, he smashes through his attack, no problem, and manages to catch him on fire.
Yeah, he's burned pretty good, and he's like really unhappy, he's mad and crying, and it's like, well, now you've done it, now you've upset an ultimate.
Yeah.
But then, on top of this, it says doesn't want to be their friend, so then Hero lectures him about friendship, about you can't have them all expect to have your friends shape, and you can't force your friends to do things. And Pumpkinmon is completely and totally convinced.
Yeah.
And now they're friends.
Yeah, he switches real quick on that.
So when you want someone to be your friend, belittle them. Lecture them and belittle them.
Yep, perfect.
That's how friends are how true friendship starts.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And again, I get what they're going for.
Just
if he was a little more subtle about saying, look, humans don't work that way. We're very diverse. Look, I know I don't have any human friends. I can try to be your friend. Something like that just would have worked so much better than how it went.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if something was quite lost in translation there, quite how...
Maybe. I can understand that, but... Again, but the Mummymon episode was very convincing how they made all that work, so... I don't think that's the case, but maybe.
No. Very well. Very well could be, yeah.
But, I'm not surprised you had to go this route, because again, it's an ultimate, and they're a champion and a rookie.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of direct confrontation you can do with them. And
then it's kind of happy, and the Pumpkinmon and his group just disappear.
Yeah, they go back to the real world, and they're just gone.
Hero doesn't seem particularly worried, but I'm going, did you just trap them in this in-between world? This demi-world?
I mean, my only explanation as to how Battle Gamamon can do that kind of damage. I was thinking, there was something in the back of my mind that I had thought about this. Is still, even though they aren't the hologram ghosts, they aren't actually necessarily materialized, and we did establish that materializing is a big power boost.
But they sure look materialized in this Digicords.
Yeah, I mean, they are solid there. Is that different than the full-on materialize? I'm probably thinking way too much about it and trying to,
Is there different degrees of materialized where you can interact with the real human world and can?
Yeah, I'm probably thinking about it way too much.
Are we thinking about this more than the writers?
Probably,
Very
yes.
possibly.
Yes.
That's what we do.
Exactly.
If you watched all our reviews at this point, you'll know that by now.
Oh god, yes. But yeah, no,
And that really
like
kind
you
of
said,
wraps it up for this episode, though.
yeah. We didn't get Angoramon's Digivolve form, which I just kind of figured we would this
Yeah,
episode.
expected, but
that's fine. And
overall, it's still a fine episode.
Yeah.
Plot's still progressing in a logical and reasonable pace.
yeah, we still learn more about the digital world, and the characters are learning, and
they spend a lot of time together, a good amount of time talking together. Even the Digimon spend some time interacting with each other, which is nice to see.
Yep. We're establishing this kind of digital world thing.
Yeah,
we're doing the invisibility. They're learning. There is definite progress made towards what exactly we're not sure. There's no real overall thing yet.
At this point, the arc seems to be Hero trying to figure out what his dad's doing and where he is, and
at this
maybe
point,
bring them back. I'm not even sure if you mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm assuming it's going to be finding Dad. Dad will tell us what the bad thing for now is. The first story arc is.
We'll drop a major
that
plot
will-
dump on us, and
that will carry us off. But I don't know.
we shall see. Yeah,
Yeah.
just speculation.
We are releasing these as they come out, so we are not.
Yeah.
So we don't know. I mean, we saw the preview of the next episode, which is going to be a lot about Senpai, probably.
Yes.
Since hopefully we'll learn his name finally.
Yeah, we stop calling him Senpai. Which
With-
actually is kind of funny at this point. So we keep
Yeah.
calling him Senpai.
Yeah, with Jellymon.
Who ironically did not show up in this episode.
Yes.
But Lily's two friends have been in every episode.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they're more important than Senpai.
Yes. Yeah. But it worries me again because in the intro it's showing Chirinmon and Orochimon for the next episode, and those are two really powerful Digimon again.
Yeah, should be way outside of our
This
main crew's abilities to fight at this point.
at this point. So yeah, we'll see what they do with that, because it's been iffy. Mummymon made sense, and Pumpkinmon not as much. So we'll see what happens there. But we've rambled on for quite a while now. That's probably long enough. Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you like, subscribe for more Digimon content. And as always everyone, keep staying awesome. Till the next video, take care. Bye-bye.